Alright, y'all, welcome back to the show. Once again, we got another special guest right here, real quick. For the people that may not know, you want to let the people, what's your name, where you're from?
Yo, what's up? It's 247 Zay. I'm from Oakland, California.
Flight out of town on the East Coast bowling. I got Zaza, I got light dance too, nigga. I'm gon' do me, give a fuck about you. When I come down, she gon' bust like my toe. Taking shots back to back, girl, you got the last laugh. I could give you back shots, how you want me to?
Yeah, alright. How would you describe the type of music that you make?
It's so hard to use a genre because I pull from so many different places, from like Afro beats to rock, to different shit, alternatives and stuff.
Yeah.
So I really just would describe it with like a mix of like melodic stuff with the futuristic, trippy, alternative wave. I think that's
okay.
The main thing I keep in. I've been fucking with the bouncy stuff a lot too.
Yeah. Alright, what made you get into that specific style? Because that sounds like super niche, super unique, you know?
I feel like I've been on a music development journey, so every time I get in the studio, I'm always just want to reach something that I've never really reached before.
Okay.
And just after going through so many cycles of that, it eventually started to hone in to me, like the things that I like versus things I don't.
Okay. You have a couple big songs with Lil Ricefield back in the day and Seiji in them.
4 grams in the wood, got a young nigga flying. Yo, bitch, door open like my motherfucking iris. Got packed for the low, like my motherfucking eyelids. I keep my head up, ain't no time for the whining. When I hit, she gon' run from that dick like a joke. Bitch, I'm lit, smoking on 2 blunts like I'm smoking. Shawty shit, her friend with my dick, she look like Bonaparte. Napoleon, white bitch, yellow bitch, chocolate.
And some people may know you from that. But what people may not know that I noticed is that on Lil Ricefield's YouTube channel, the first video that he dropped, it was 7 years ago. And it was with you, and it got like 100,000 views or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, what led to that? How did you get there?
So me and Seiji used to be in a group called ISM. That's when we started making music together, and we dropped that song pretty much right after high school. I think I literally recorded that while I was on tour in the hotel.
Damn.
So.
While you were on tour, so you were already touring by the time.
Yeah, I was touring with Bieber when we dropped that.
Oh wait, so let's take a little detour to that section too. So you were touring with Bieber. So what do you mean, Justin Bieber?
Yeah, I was dancing back up on the Purpose tour.
Okay, how did you land that role right there?
I literally just went to the audition.
Really?
Yeah, I drove all the way from the Bay straight to the audition. We made it right in time. I was with my ex at the time, and I just locked in. I didn't even talk to any of my friends walking in. I just had my headphones and just locked in.
Well, so what got you into dancing? How long have you been dancing for then?
I've been dancing for real, training since I was 10. So like it's been a long time. I got into dance when I was a kid. I seen a performance, and I definitely was just like I could do that. And I started dancing with like New Style, Motherload, a lot of different turf dancers, like Footwork. He trained me. And then I kept going back and forth between LA, like with the turf dancers out here, and then the industry in LA, and then just mixing it and working like that.
Yeah. All right. What style of dance were you doing? Would you say?
Popping, turfing, and choreography is definitely like my comfort zone. But I have training in like modern, contemporary, and technique too. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So what? How were you able to get so good to the point where Justin Bieber recruited you to be on his like team and stuff?
I honestly think Oakland has a lot to do with it. The popping training that I had here, like my hits, the way that I pop versus the way that most people understand it in LA is completely different. But I also would attribute that to the fact that popping came from the Bay Area too. It's originated in San Francisco with Demons of the Mind. That was like one of the original popping crews.
Yeah.
So we're a little bit further, I feel like, advanced with that out here. So then when I mixed it with the choreography, I do really well in auditions.
Oh, interesting. So you took that influence from the Bay Area popping and mixed it with like more, I guess, like you could say, was it like mainstream choreography?
Yeah, like more industry stuff.
Yeah, and that kind of caught their eyes and was like, oh, exactly. We gotta get him on here.
They always want something authentic. So
yeah. Damn. So you were able to bring that with you on stage while you were on tour?
Oh yeah, I was definitely always hitting turf moves every chance I got.
Damn. How many different cities did you go in? How long? What span of time?
It was pretty much 2 years, and it was a world tour. So
damn,
we went to Rio, London, Australia. We were all over South America, Chile.
Yeah,
hella different cities.
That's crazy. What was it like going from one city, then you got to wake up the next day, boom, go to another city, another state? Was that hella hard to get the hang of?
Yeah, it was wild for sure. I was the youngest person on the tour too, so I had never done anything like that before. But I definitely enjoyed the experience. Like, I'm grateful that I went through that, and I got to see a lot of different people throughout the world, which gave me more perspective to bring back.
Yeah. All right, I got a couple more questions about that. So, what are all the countries that you actually went to?
I don't even know if I'd even be able to remember them.
Damn, hella. Do you remember at least like how many different countries? And was it all through different continents? Like you went to Europe too, or like Africa?
Yeah. So we went to a lot in South America. We went to a few different cities in Brazil. We went to a few different countries in Europe too. So yeah, I mean we were really all over the place. I was gone for like over 2 years pretty much.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. What was the craziest thing you've seen on tour? Any crazy moments? Any crazy experiences? Like, oh man.
I would say I saw a lot of crazy stuff. But most of it was just good things. Like, you know, a lot of beauty, just traveling the world and working, doing what you love. You know what I'm saying? So the main takeaway is just like, you know, being on stage. When you're on stage with hundreds of thousands of people in the audience in these coliseums and arenas, there's no feeling quite like that.
Yeah, right. Were you nervous at first? You had to get over it, or were you just chilling?
I'm used to performing, so when I'm dancing and I like know exactly what I'm supposed to do, it's easier to like get through stuff like that. But it definitely gave me a base to like be able to work the audience. Yeah, especially with my music too. It's helpful to perform.
Yeah, so you feel like that kind of bled into your artistry now too?
Yeah, for sure. Even the way that I create my music, I think like the technique of me learning how to get better at dance, I'm able to easily just apply that to music. Right. That's why I was talking about like with genres and my spirals and stuff, like it's like I'm constantly trying to evolve. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, all right. So let's go back to the other part of the story. So you said you guys formed a group in high school? And then, so how did that group form in the first place?
So me and Seiji, we were just friends. We literally met on the first day of school. And then there was this dude named Wayne Hayes that hit Seiji up, I think, to try and be his manager, because he heard about that fact that he was making beats. And then he heard about me too, and then he was like, oh yeah. So then he was like, all right. We decided to form a group from there, and then eventually he dropped out, and me and Seiji just kind of kept going past into when he moved to LA.
Okay.
Like that, yeah.
Okay. So then, when that group was a thing in high school, were you guys weren't dropping like videos, or were you recording at a studio? Like,
mostly everything we recorded at the house.
Okay, and you were just dropping on SoundCloud or what?
Yeah, we would drop on SoundCloud mostly, and then we started dropping on Spotify when it became more of a thing too.
Yeah. Okay. So then, so that music video then, that one that with you and Ricefield, that was y'all's first music video that you did?
No, that wasn't not our first one. Okay. We had some before that we deleted.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But that was the first one that did numbers though.
Kinda. Our very first video had like 10K, but I think that was the only one that did 100 like that. And it really didn't do that until after like the channel had more success, because that was originally our YouTube channel. That was ISM channel, and we eventually changed the name to the Ricefield channel once Japanese blew up.
Okay, so that song didn't really like do a lot of numbers until Japanese blew up, and then people went back to watch it.
Yeah, I mean it did a cool amount of numbers, but it didn't like get to like 100K where it's
Why do you think so? Okay, but would you say that song helped put you guys on the map more, or like helped get your name out there? Why do you think that song went up like that?
I mean, I think it was a good representation for like the Asian community in the Bay Area, because I mean, just in the industry, like entertainment industry, there's not a lot of representation, especially for like Asian men and shit like that. So
okay.
I think that was great for people, and they were able to latch on along with like the super high energy song, like fast beat.
Yeah. Wait, what type of Asian are you?
I'm Filipino and black.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah. All right. Yeah, 2 years go by. That's when you drop your next music video? No, so Japanese dropped, and then another year went by, and then you dropped your next song. Is that correct? That's like the right time frame?
Yeah, like 1 or 2 years. I think I think I waited.
Yeah. So, but you were around when Japanese came out and they made that and everything?
Yeah. I was helping with all that, and I'm helping dance in music videos,
Okay.
and whatnot.
So, what was your perspective on when that song came out? Because that song like really, really blew up, and there was a whole concept behind it. They had all this like different directing. What was happening? Like, what was your perspective on it? How did you see that come about? And what did you have to do with that song, or how did you help?
So they asked me to be on Japanese originally. I actually didn't want to be on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I didn't want like my ethnic identity to just completely define my music at the time. I just didn't feel like I had to. I don't know. Like I had to think about it. Like I just wanted my music to just be my music, you know. But I totally see the vision. I respect it.
Yeah. Okay. Did things change though once that song, or do you know how that song like really blew up?
Yeah. So it originally got some traction just on Spotify out of nowhere. Then we started looking it up, and a lot of people were making like gaming videos, like Fortnite videos to it. Like hella people were making Fortnite videos to it, and then once we saw the traction, it just was kind of go time. We released the first music video for it, and then he got some attention from the label, and then we like released another music video and kept going with it. Yeah.
What changed after that? Like, what changed with the group after Japanese dropped?
We dropped Neji, and then like they kind of just went a separate direction from me. Like the dynamic was a little bit different, definitely with me, because I'm not on that. So I you know what I'm saying. So it was a little bit of a different dynamic.
Cause I mean, Neji went up to that, got like over 1 million views.
Yeah.
But so I guess after Neji, you just like you were saying, you didn't want your ethnic background to define your artistry type of thing.
Yeah.
So I guess you just kind of did your own thing, you would say, or not completely did your own thing.
Nah, we continue to make music. We literally have so many songs ready to go.
Yeah.
And I probably would drop them at the right time. But yeah, so I just kept working though. Working. I had to learn how to engineer myself and stuff.
Yeah.
Get a little bit more self-sufficient.
Okay. So I guess another question too to touch on this is why did you wait like 2 or 3 years? Because you did that one song and then like 2-3 years went by and then you did Neji.
Yeah.
So were you just taking a break, or you just weren't dropping videos like that?
So we had a small management team at the time that got kind of split up, and like with them they had created the idea, which I ain't gonna lie, I was not a part of the decision making of it, but they created the idea that we were gonna push Rice first, and then we were gonna push Seiji, and then we were gonna push me. So that's kind of why it took me so long to continue to drop on myself. Really after that, so I was not trying to divert the attention from Japanese.
I see. Yeah. Do you have any regrets from anything?
Yeah, I feel like it's never a good idea to just not drop music like that, because realistically, that doesn't take away from anything. It probably would just add to it, the greater picture in general. So I think in the future, or to other artists, definitely be proactive. And take dropping your own music into your own hands, regardless of who it is telling you what. You feel me? You always gotta just take initiative and do your own shit and drop it.
Yeah. So what's something that you've learned about how people act and characteristics of people from being in the music industry?
I think even with the dance industry too, there's a culture of using people to get where you want, and that can come in many different forms. You know what I'm saying? Many different things. But I think I would love to create a culture that fosters more reciprocity between people and between artists that have something to offer. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether that's energy, time, just support, like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. But I would love to create more of that, especially in the Bay Area too.
All right, you might have to define reciprocity for the people. I ain't gonna lie.
Reciprocity is like, if someone is able to give you something, you're able to give them something back. And it might not even be equal, but just the act of being able to give and not just take. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that shit is crazy. And so you feel like it's like that on all levels, even the underground, if you're an up-and-coming artist, or if you're a big mainstream artist, just the industry, entertainment.
Yeah, I think so. Because, I mean, for good reasons, too. Because a lot of where you can get is based off your connections, too. So that's the other side of it, which I understand.
Yeah. That's an interesting theory about things, honestly, and it is true. And I can see that it's true with me in many ways too. Shit, people will love to use me because I got the platform. But do you think there's a solution to this, or there could be a way for their things to go like that?
Yeah, I do, and I think we see it in like other cities and areas where they have a lot of current mainstream artists. And then we look at the Bay and wonder why it's always a bubble and we're separate. But it's like, we don't put ourselves on a level with people. And I think the way out really is just more grace. So it's like more grace for ourselves, more grace for other people, you know. And it starts with yourself, though, because you have to have grace for who you are, where you are, what you're working with.
Well, so what do you mean by have grace as well?
Like have patience and the ability to love unconditionally. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even with the words we choose, how we choose to speak to people, what we choose to put out, just having grace, bro. Even if someone were to make music that has like all this negative energy, it's like, you know, sometimes people will look at it and not have grace for the music, when realistically they're talking about their experience or talking about how they feel, or, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we gotta have grace for the real of what happens. You feel me? Like, if you really take a walk through and see some shit, you'll have an understanding. But it'd be so many people that just want to look and point and just, or distance themselves without having empathy, where it creates such a disconnect, where it's like no one has grace for each other anymore.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So one thing I want to also touch on is the concept for the Neji video too, because like, that was the one where y'all were like fighting with swords and stuff.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. What was the planning behind that?
It was because like Rice is Seiji's biological little brother, but he kind of my little brother too. So we kind of took that idea with the video, and like he was like our prodigy on a mission. He learned from Seiji, and then he came to me, the guru, and learned some different shit. And that was pretty much the concept of the video.
Yeah. What would you say is the inspiration for that whole like kind of style that you guys had? Was it like kind of based off anime?
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely have a deep love for anime. I watch hella anime. I'm pretty much caught up. I'm caught up on One Piece. I read the manga. Like, I'm caught up on my shit.
Yeah.
So,
what's your favorite animes?
One Piece is definitely there. Like, the plot of just trying to uncover the secret 100-year history from the world government, I feel like is real life.
Explain. What do you mean?
That's pretty much the actual concept of One Piece. Like they're trying to discover the knowledge of what happened, and it's some hidden history, and I feel like that's some hidden history of what happened in America. Even like me being Filipino and black, I feel like I have a real American experience on both sides. And you know, like Native American too. Like my grandpa's grandma, she was full Blackfoot Native American, and he always tells me about that. So it's like, I feel like that has something to do with like the missing 100-year history. Pretty much the genocide that happened in America for America to be created, and what happened to those people, I think is a subject that's been left out of history, and I'd be interested in learning more about.
So what? Because I don't have no idea what One Piece is, honestly. So that's why I'm kind of lost. But so other people that may not know, do you mind like summarizing what it is and like how it relates?
Yeah, the One Piece is like The main character is Luffy. He wants to be the king of the pirates, basically, right? And the previous king of the pirates left a treasure that's called the One Piece somewhere, and it inspired a bunch of people to go looking for it. And a lot of people think it's fake and not real. And so the few people that do believe it's real go out and look for it, and they're called pirates. You know what I'm saying? So I just relate to that because it's like when you are on a mission and trying to reach something, a lot of people don't get it. Especially here, there's a lot of comfortable people, and like I have been uncomfortable most of my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I relate to that experience.
Okay, I see. So then, how does that tie into the whole thing about the hidden genocide? And
so the One Piece, in order to get to the One Piece, you have to pick up these clues, or you have to find them, which are called poneglyphs. They're like monuments engraved in stone, which literally have pieces of a story. And in the story, it's the 100-year history. The world government is actively trying to kill anybody researching. It's like illegal if you research this in the world. So like there was some scientists, they killed all the scientists. Only one little girl made it away. Type shit. Like
that's crazy.
So you have to find the hidden history. And I mean, from where it's going, I mean, I would assume that the last one is at a poneglyph and says the history along with whatever the One Piece is, or if that is the One Piece.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Eventually, you start dropping on your own YouTube. So first, I wanted to touch on this too. Where did you come up with your rap name, and why do you use that like certain asterisk thing in there?
Cause all right. So originally, like I got that spelling from this movie called City of God, which is a Brazilian movie. It's hella clean. I don't know if you've seen it before.
I heard about it.
Yeah, that shit's fire. And it's just about these like kids that like just grow up basically in the slums of Brazil, really in Rio, and like how they just grow up to become drug lords. And the one of the main characters' name is Lil Zay, basically, and he spells it exactly like that.
Oh, okay.
Because I have to watch it with subtitles, so I see the spelling.
Okay.
But I thought that was kind of clean, and everyone, there's hella Zays, like. So it's like I had to come up with a unique way of putting it.
Okay. What about the numbers, the numbering? Oh, that was how he spelled it too?
No. So the numbering is just 247, like 24/7 all the time.
Got you.
Yeah. So that to me represents just like a constant evolution, a constant growth, constant training, a constant fight to keep up that grace that I was talking about. Constant. A balance of that empathy and a constant balance of self-respect and confidence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's see. So, yeah, what made you start dropping on your own YouTube channel, and what was that process like?
Well, I definitely wanted to have my own place. Honestly, I didn't even know if I could drop on the other YouTube channel. I never even thought about that. I probably could if I asked. Like, I never had to even ask. That thought never even occurred to me. I just wanted to continue to drop music, so I just dropped it where I just like know I can drop music. But I did also want to get my own platform going. I think with the very first video, like with my World Star video, I think that is where I started to do my own channel more. The process was definitely difficult, and it's still difficult to get enough visual content to like keep the channel active.
Yeah, what's difficult about it?
It's just expensive. Videos are expensive. And I learned a little bit like how to shoot and edit my own videos, but obviously the quality is a little bit different. I'm still learning certain things. So
yeah. Would you say that your sound changed dropping on your own YouTube channel versus when you used to drop on their channel?
Yeah, for sure. The songs on the other channel were pretty much me younger. And a lot of that is like Bay Area sounds. Like even when I did my first stuff, I did like more Bay Area R&B type stuff. But now I've just been really focused on this alternative sound because I've always loved like SoundCloud and stuff, but I think I just used to suffer from imposter syndrome and really not understanding who I am. You feel me? And just like being from the Bay and being mixed and all these things, all these factors. So now I'm at a point where it's like, all right, let me just make the music that I like, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So what, you started dropping on your own channel in 2021, is that right? Or 2022?
Yeah, I think
around that area? That era. So what was the journey like from the 2021 to now to where you're at right now. What did you do? What are the steps you took, and how did you get to this point right here?
Man, I've worked with a lot of different people, and shouts out to everyone that's helped me along the way. Definitely been through different situations, weird stuff's happened to life. But through it all, just been trying to be consistent making music. I think my biggest problem throughout the years of me since then is just dropping. Because like hella, just dealing with depression, dealing with stuff I can't control in the past, like other stuff like that sometimes will take away like the fun of it a little bit, and just like you start to not even like the things that you like. You feel me? So I feel like dealing with that. I always made music the entire time. I just didn't drop. Yeah. So now I just want to get into consistent dropping. I'm still trying to catch up to where I can make a song and then upload it and drop it like 2 weeks from then. So like I most of the music, even my last 2 projects, I made them like a year ahead, at least. Damn.
Okay. Because you say you have to battle. You have battles that you go through with certain things. But what motivates you to be like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna make this song, drop it? What motivates you to get over that hump?
Well, I know if I don't make any active steps, which at least dropping a song is like putting a shot up in the game. Like making the song is pretty much just me doodling in my notebook at the house. Like I'm pretty much just like just drawing, I'm getting good, but like I'm not really putting no real shots up in the game. So that's where I'm trying to start to look at it. And I know that if I don't do that, you can never get to where you want to get. And like obviously I want to be in the game, but to me I always wanted to be the best at what I do. So now it's like, all right, it's crunch time. It's getting to that period where I need to just be consistent and drop it, get it out to me.
Shit is good. One thing too, real quick. So what's the meaning behind that tattoo on your hand, the spiderweb tattoo? Why'd you get that?
I got this when I was in the Philippines recently. I made some friends out there. It represents like a few things, like the interconnectivity of things for one, but also like everyone looks at a trap as a bad thing. But a spider web is a trap too, and a spider lives there comfortably and eats all their food from there. So I kind of wanted to just flip that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be something that traps you, but we also use traps to eat.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's deep. What are the best? They got good Filipino food spots out here. What are the best spots?
I just like the Lucky 37 classic.
Oh yeah, it's a classic.
It's hella good. They got the G-Fire wings, but they got the G-Fire short ribs too, which plus. So.
Any other spots though?
I mean, you could always go to Seafood City and get you some. Then they just opened up the Jollibee in Alameda too. Oh, okay. I think it's actually kind of smooth. Like it was a better Jollibee compared to some of the other ones like in the surrounding areas. So a little basic stuff. But my family cooks like chicken adobo and like ginatahan at the house. Like I get some Filipino food.
Once you get to the point where you actually are shooting those shots and making them, who are some other artists that you see yourself making dope music with?
Oh man, there's so many people. For one, like in the underground, I definitely really want to work with like Black Cray or Sick Boy Rari, whatever you prefer to go by, because he's a huge inspiration to me. Then also Icy Twat, I love to work with. But then going further, I love to work with a lot of people in the industry. I've been inspired by a lot. Like if I could make a song with like Steve and Marley, would be insane, because Mind Control is one of my favorite projects. Kendrick, of course, too. But I also fuck with Drake. I would make a song with Drake too. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'll fuck with all the shit.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, all right. So, what's in store for the future? Why should we tune into you? What you got coming, and how can we find your music, etc.?
Yes, sir. So I just dropped my last project, Yandere, like a week and a half ago.
Okay, what's the meaning behind that project?
Yeah, Yandere, here, I put a real description like in my Instagram. A Yandere is a fictional character who is extremely possessive of a love interest and may be violent or dangerous in pursuit of that love. So I think my title, I just wanted to express, like, that's kind of how a lot of people act, if you really notice. Like, when they start to love things or people, it can change you know, your whole perspective, and like it's kind of a beautiful thing, but it's kind of an ugly thing too. I'm just intrigued by the concept of it. You feel me? So also it's a really anime term. Like it's a term for like they got a bunch of different terms for like anime archetypes, like yandere, tsundere, kudere.
Yeah.
Hella different ones, but
Okay, so is the music on the album? Would you say it's kind of inspired by that too?
definitely has inspiration, especially like my lyrics.
Okay.
I
What's your
talk
favorite
about
song? Oh, what's your favorite song on the album?
Man, it's hard to like pick between your children. But I mean, I really like them all. I like a lot of them. I'm interested to see what people like because for me, each song could be my favorite at a different time. Like, and that's why I feel like I like releasing these little mixtapes because like I have so many different vibes that it's helpful for me to organize it. You know what I'm saying? So I just play it at different times, and you'll probably find your favorite for real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah. But all right, yeah. So anything else you got in store? You want to let the people where to find you too?
Yes, sir. 247ZE on all platforms. That's Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, all the shit. And then I also have a bunch of more projects. I have one ready, and I'm about to drop it. I think I'm gonna drop like 2 or 3 singles first. So I'm gonna finish up this single, upload it, and probably drop it in another two weeks, something like that.